Today we're going to start cutting our felt. So you each have a piece of felt and we're going to use it for a couple of different projects. The first one is going to be a pin cushion, but you only have so much felt and we're going to use every aspect, every little bit that we can with that. So forgive my videotaping, I'm doing my own, so it's kind of a challenge, but what we need to do is to cut a 4.5 inch square out of your piece of felt. Each one of you have a different color, or they're different colors, but what I need you to do is to take your seam gauge that you have, and it says you're going to set this little gauge at 4.5. That's the line right in between 4 and 5, and you're going to put it right on the edge of your fabric, which is your felt. And back here, you're going to draw a line even with your seam gauge. And you're going to move this, and you're going to continue to do that all the way down so that you have lines that are 4.5 inches from this edge. And there's a couple things that you can do. We want to connect these. So I'm just going to draw a line here this way. And connect them. Boom. So this piece that we're going to cut off is exactly 4.5 inches. Don't cut yet. All right, we're going to do all our drawing and our pinning with some pieces, and then we'll cut. So then we're going to do, because we're doing 4.5 should be the halfway point. Oops, sorry. So on this edge, if I draw a line where 4.5 is, I come down here, I should be pretty darn close to the halfway point. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing here. On our blue line that we drew, mark where 4.5 inches is from the top, and then I can connect those. If your square isn't perfect, we can trim it. All right. So we're going to have two squares that are each 4.5 inches wide by 4.5 inches long. So they're squares, right? 4.5 by 4.5. And then we have this nice big chunk here. Well, in your packet, you also got a small pattern. You got 3 patterns, in fact. This is the smallest one. It's like 4.5 by 6.5, I think. I can't remember. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it's 4.5 by 6.5, yeah. So we're going to put that up in this corner. And I don't want you to draw around it. What I want you to do instead is to start practicing pinning. So we're going to set it here, and I line this up on the edge, in the corner, and I'm going to use my straight pins, and I'm going to pin into the corners, making sure I keep this right on the edge. And the thing about a pattern is that if you don't destroy it, you can use it over and over again. All right, there. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this piece. And when I slide my scissors up to it, where that intersection is, where the two blades meet, slide that up to the fabric, and then I close my scissors almost all the way, but not quite. And you slide it all the way up. Notice I'm not picking it up. My left hand holds my fabric down, my non-cutting hand does, because you don't want to pick it up. We want it nice and even. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this piece. I'm going to cut right here. Right? Boom. Easy, right? This piece, on the other hand, I need to cut along the edge of my pattern. And this is getting you used to using patterns and having that experience. Turn this around. Now your best bet is to always stand when you're cutting so that your arm is relaxed and your shoulder's not all kinked up. It's your best way to be cutting. So we have this piece left. We need it as well. So we're going to take this guy off. And we're going to repin him back onto the fabric. And if you remember right, we pin into the corners. It helps keep our corner nice and flat. But I push my pin all the way in and then all the way back up. Every time. And I know it's a challenge. I've been doing it a long time. Yours may not go in there as quick and easy as mine does, but I've been doing this for a long time, so I have some practice. Again, I slide my scissors right up against there, and I cut up against my pattern without cutting my pattern. And I just slide it up there so it's nice and straight. The last thing I want is to have a jagged edge. Reminder, where is my left hand? It's holding my fabric down. If you're left-handed, your right hand will hold your fabric down. But I'm right-handed, so my left hand, its job is to hold it down. It doesn't pick it up and cut like this. I want to leave it flat. When you're done, you should have these two little pieces. Hold on to those. You might come up with something else for those. So you're going to have those two pieces with the pattern and these two squares, non-pattern, the ones that are 4.5 inch by 4.5 inches.